guys, welcome to the channel. This is Kritika, and today we'll be knowing the basics of AWS. So we'll know what is AWS, some of the disadvantages and advantages of the AWS, right? So let's start. So we'll know what is AWS. So as we all know, the full form of the AWS is nothing but Amazon Web Services, which is a comprehensive evolving cloud computing platform provided by the Amazon. So it offers a wide range of services, including computing power, storage options, networking, databases, machine learning, analytics, security, and more. So Amazon Web Service is a cloud platform which provides more than 200 fully featured services from the data centers located all over the world, right? And it is a world's most comprehensive cloud platform which is broadly adopted. So it is a cloud computing platform which is provided by Amazon, and that includes a mixture of infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and also software as a service, right? So the next example, like database. So we have a service in Amazon Web Services, which is called Amazon RDS. If your application requires a database, you can use Amazon relational database services to set up, operate, and scale a relational database in the cloud. So if we are hosting a website or an application, so we have a services, we have a 200 plus fully featured services in the AWS. So when we are hosting a website, so we require we also require database for that, right? So we Amazon also has a service called Amazon relational database services, so we'll be having MySQL as well. So similar to that, the Amazon itself, it has its own database service which is called Amazon relational database services, where we can set up, operate, and scale our relational databases in the cloud, right? So next is the advantages of AWS. So the first one is scalability. So easily scale up or down based on demand, ensuring optimal performance and cost efficiency, right? So scalability is one of the advantages of AWS, wherein it refers to the ability to increase or decrease the IT resources to meet the demand of the business, right? So it helps the businesses to scale up or scale down. It depends on the demand of the organization, right? So the next is flexibility. Provides a wide range of services, allowing users to choose the most suitable solutions for their specific needs. So flexibility provides a wide range of services where allows the users to choose which is most suitable for their solution. So if they're hosting anything, if they want to use the database service, they can use database services as SQL, or as I said, we can also use the Amazon's database service called RDS, right? So it helps, it allows the customers to select what are the services they want. They can select the services which is useful for them, right? The next is cost efficiency. So pay as you go. Pricing model means you only pay for the resources you use, reducing upfront costs. So cost efficient. So Amazon Web Services is a cost efficiency, wherein if you're using any of the services in the AWS, we have an feature, we have an option called pay as you go. So how much ever we are using the time, if we are using from morning till evening, so if you're using from morning 9 o'clock till evening 7 o'clock, we can pay only to the time which we are using. So that is called pay as you go. So this is a great advantage, wherein if we want to use it for only one day or only 2 days, so we can pay for only 2 days. It doesn't require to pay for whole month or whole week or whole year. So we have this option called pay as you go in AWS, wherein you can pay for the service which you use for the specific time, for the particular time, right? So it is a pay only for the resources you use, right? It reduces the upfront cost for us. It doesn't cost more for us, so it is a cost efficient. So these are some of the important advantages of AWS. So next we'll go for some main disadvantages of AWS. So the first one will be the cost management, right? While the pay as you go model is cost effective, monitoring and managing cost can be challenging for complex architectures. So as I said, pay as you go model is a cost effective. It is an advantages of AWS. So AWS has a very good feature. It is an amazing feature where we have pay as you go model as well. But cost management will be very complex. Reserved instances are limiting in the AWS. So as cost explodes, it may take up to 24 hours to reflect the cost, right? And sometimes billing can be confusing. So it has a major flaw in its billing. It can be quite complicated for the customers who are using the services, right? So the next one is the dependency on internet connectivity. So users need a reliable internet connection to access AWS services, which may be a limitation in certain scenarios. So in AWS, if we have to connect to the AWS, or if we have to connect to the data in the AWS, or if you're working on AWS, so we need a good quality internet connection. So without the internet connection, we cannot use AWS. So good internet connectivity is must in cloud computing, right? We cannot access cloud without a good internet connection. And moreover, we'll be not having, or we don't have any other way to gather data from the cloud, right? So the next will be areas where AWS is commonly used. So web hosting, hosting websites and web applications using services like Amazon EC2, S3, and CloudFront. So AWS offers cloud web hosting solutions, which provides business, non-profits, and governmental organizations with low-cost ways to deliver their website, to deploy their websites and or web applications, right? So in AWS, web hosting is easier. So we can use services like EC2, S3, EC2 for instances to create instances, and S3 for the storage, and CloudFront, right? So the next is data storage and databases. Storing and managing data using services like Amazon S3, Amazon RDS, and Amazon DynamoDB, right? So AWS has a service called data storage and databases. So data storage services are they are mainly grouped into two groups, which are like AWS storage and AWS databases. So like generally the services under storage are more open ended, while the database services will be focusing specifically on managing databases, software, and storage, right? So the next one is Internet of Things. So managing and analyzing data from Internet of Things devices using AWS Internet of Things services. AWS IoT is a managed cloud services wherein it lets the connected devices easily and securely, which interacts with the cloud applications or any other devices as well, right? So AWS Internet of Thing can support billions of devices. It can support the billions of devices and trillions of messages, and it can process those messages to AWS endpoints and to other devices as well securely, right? So the next one will be the DevOps and CI/CD. So implementing continuous integration and continuous deployment pipelines using AWS Code Pipeline, AWS Code Build, and AWS Code Deploy. So these are the services they provide in the AWS to implement the continuous integration and the continuous deployment pipelines. Those are AWS Code Pipeline, AWS Code Build, and AWS Code Deploy. So as we know nowadays, DevOps is adopting the culture of continuous integration and continuous deployment or delivery. So AWS can set up CI/CD pipelines using the a tool called AWS Code Commit, right? So AWS helps to evolve and improve products at a faster pace. than the organization using traditional software development and in infrastructure management as well. So AWS helps the customers to pace it faster, to deploy the things faster in AWS, wherein comparatively, if the organization has set up the data centers and which will be which will not be cost effective, but if they're using in the AWS, it will be cost effective. So it helps the customer which uses the traditional software development and infrastructure management process, right? So these are some of the commonly used areas of AWS. So today we understood about what is AWS, some of the advantages and disadvantages of AWS, and the commonly used areas, right? So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please like, subscribe, and share to your friends and help us to grow. Thank you.